Moving on from there on, let's see what earnings are doing for us right now. We have a Blue Star, which has posted a slightly mixed quarter with its profits up around 288%. EBITDA is down around 17%. Now, the stock has been weak in trade today, and it's almost nearly 4 to 4.5% of cuts that we did see at opening. Joining us on the phone line is Veer Advani. He's the managing director at Blue Star. Good morning, Veer. Thank you for speaking to BTVi. To start off with, at the face of it, the earnings do look slightly mixed in today's session. However, in terms of whether IT business is concerned, if you exclude that, if you could just tell our viewers what the numbers look like then.
Sure. Good morning. If we had an IT business that was consolidated in last year, if in the last year the IT business contributed to 75 crores of revenue and 5 crores of profit in Q2. If you remove that, then for the quarter, revenue has grown 16% to 898 crores, and PBT before exceptional items has grown 69% to 27 crores. It's been a reasonably good quarter, essentially driven by the unitary products business, which is essentially the room air conditioner business for us.
Additionally, if you could just tell us in terms of where the kind of curbs that we have seen, what percentage of your transaction is handled in cash? Do you expect a crunch in demand going ahead? My question coming to you on the back of the demonetization move that we have seen by Mr. Narendra Modi, respected PM Narendra Modi. Are you expecting a crunch in demand going ahead? And this is especially taking into consideration being from the consumer space.
Sure. So this is primarily related to our room air conditioners again. Just to share some data with you, about 30% of transactions in Tier 1 and Tier 2 markets are done in cash between our dealers and consumers. In Tier 3, Tier 4 and Tier 5 markets, that goes to as high as 60%. Now, I will clarify that typically these are first-time buyers of room air conditioners. So it is middle class and upper middle class buying. We don't see the relationship with black money in particular, but of course, because of the lack of legal tender available in the market for the short term, we will see some demand pressure in Q3. As you know, room air conditioners this is not the season for room air conditioners, and so to that extent, our full year projections will not be significantly impacted on account of this immediate shortfall. Our summer season starts towards the end of February. We are optimistic that legal tender will be freely available by then. If that happens, then we should be able to manage our summer well. In the long term, of course, this is going to augur very well for our business. We push out a lot of unnecessary transactions as well as bring a lot more organized players into the market. So there will be a short-term impact in Q3, but we should be able to recover in Q4.
Right. In terms of the electromechanical business is concerned, that continues to remain sluggish. Do you see some positive traction that has been building up on that segment so far, and what's the outlook for FY17 in terms of H2?
Sure. So if you look at the carry forward order book, it's up 15% over last year. So that's a good sign that there is a little bit of recovery in that part of the business. As you know, that business addresses the commercial real estate, infra and industrial market. So an order inflow pickup is a good sign. However, we are finding it difficult to execute running projects, not because of technical capability. We have that fully available. It is more on account of cash flow availability in the market. We are therefore restricting execution and therefore revenue on in that business until we see an improvement in the cash position in the market. We had originally expected the cash flow to improve by the year end, so we have projected a muted year for the business. Now, on account of this demonetization, while we talked about the consumer impact, there will be an impact in the real estate market as well. We are yet to assess the impact on that, and therefore we may need to wait till January before we're able to see whether this recovery that we had projected will get deferred by a few months or whether we'll be on track.
Right. All right, Veer. Thank you for sharing all the details with BTVi. The quarter has been slightly muted because of the IT business that has been removed from the consolidated earnings, but overall expecting a good demand in terms of H to the counter and almost near the day's lowest levels with cuts of 3.8%. In fact, we have Hitesh Jain, a partner at ALMT Legal, who's joining us on the phone lines, and this is mainly to discuss the entry